Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. One moment, y'all. I'm aware that you can't see me. How are we? Excuse me. Thank you, Jimmy HTV, for your super sticker. I appreciate you. Thank you, Samuel. Self-righteous healing, Sister Crimson. Baker's doesn't cure. Thank you so much. And thank you, Miss Tracy B, for your super sticker as well. Thank you all for kicking off the contributions. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about every modern woman's love and admiration for Lori Harvey. Now, thank you, Steve, also for your contribution, sweetheart. They've got a love for Miss Lori. And I've been trying to figure that out for the longest. What's the big deal with admiring her so much? The fascination with how she's sloring her way through Hollywood. Mr. Steve Harvey, like I told you before, I know that you love your stepdaughter and you love Marjorie, and you may not even be able to say nothing about what's going on. You may not be at liberty to speak on what Miss Lori Harvey is doing, but she got your last name and moving like a harlot for hire. And you got a lot of relationship advice for everybody else and how they ought to move, when you really need to sit Lori down. It's too late now. It's too late now. Because what is Lori, like 26? Something like that. But you should have sat her down to let her know that being a harlot for hire in Hollywood is not the business. It's certainly not the business that a young woman carrying the Harvey last name is going to be involved in. So if you want to be involved in slurring around, you're going to have to take your mama's last name or your real daddy last name, and you do his name like that. But you're not going to do the Harvey name, work too hard, to get it to where it need to be for you to dishonor it by your blatant promise, your public promiscuity. It would be different if she wasn't doing this in public. But what we're going to find is that she's doing it in public on purpose. Found a small, short little article about her speaking and why she's moving the way that she's moving with these so-called dates and men that she like to be with. Because I don't care. We wouldn't care how many men she got ran through by if it wasn't. I'm gonna tell you why why there is something to speak on. Because she's not only doing things publicly, but she's not known for nothing else. She's not known for anything else. The name of Lori Harvey is not known for being a model, which she's signed with modeling agencies. The name Lori Harvey is not associated with being a supermodel. And that's how she made her name. And that's how we know her. That's not how we know her. They claim she's an entrepreneur with a skincare line. And when I went to the website of the skincare line, everything is sold out and it's like 5 products. Okay. A line that we've never heard of. I've never seen any commercials for. Okay. I have not seen it in ads. I have not seen it in ads anywhere, not on social media. And social media is the new television. YouTube run ads all the time. With the amount of money that her stepfather has, there would be no reason why her product would not be marketed all over the place. Like women are all over social media. There's no reason why we should not know about Lori Harvey's skincare line. We know about Kim Kardashian's little janky Skims shapewear line. We know about that. And that come with mixed reviews. Some people say it's all right. Some people say it's horrible product, bad quality, and whatever. So there's no reason if Lori Harvey is an entrepreneur, there should be no reason why we don't know her for her skincare line. If she's a model and she's got a skincare line, then we should know her primarily because of that. And who she dates should be a side note to how we really know her, right? Because you got all kinds of women that's been ran through. Madonna, right? How thottish has Madonna been all her career? But no matter how many times Madonna get married, no matter how many boyfriends she have, no matter how many men she parade around with, we know Madonna for her music. We know Madonna for her music. She was prolific in her era. The 80s, the 90s, 80s, 90s Madonna, on point. Right? So, thank you, William Brown. How many times has Taylor Swift been passed? Taylor Swift is a pass around. She just as much as a pass around as Lori Harvey. Matter of fact, thank you for mentioning Taylor Swift, because now I'm going to make a comparison. Between Lori Harvey and Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift has been passed around the industry, okay? But we don't know her for that. When Taylor Swift's name come up, her music come up. If you are a Taylor Swift fan, then her music is what comes to mind. Not how many men and celebrities Taylor's been with. And Taylor's been through a lot of. Okay. Taylor is not innocent, baby. She got bodies. Okay. Taylor Swift, and she come on there and she had that little wholesome little white girl image. And I don't know how she keep it with all the men she publicly run through with. But they certainly keep her little white, oh, I'm just a white girl. Oh my God. Taylor Swift stuff. She rated E for everybody. And she rated G for kids and stuff like that. And Taylor still manages to maintain a clean image. She maintained it. Okay. Taylor Swift is a thought. Taylor Swift is your friendly neighborhood thought. But we don't know her for thoughting. We don't know her for thoughting. People know Taylor because her music, her record sales, her concerts. But Lori has been passed around just as much, but she's known for slutting and harlotry and thotting around. She's not known for any other endeavor that her name is attached to at all. I'm going to tell you something else. I'm going to read you a real short article that's going to sort of illustrate my point a bit. I want to... Okay, we're going to sort of make this a bit bigger. We're going to make this a bit bigger so you guys can see. Lori Harvey's dating advice for the modern woman. And I want you to see if you can recognize any of these talking points. Lori Harvey has gone viral for offering dating advice to women everywhere, and the feedback has been overwhelmingly positive. It's been a busy past few weeks for model and entrepreneur Lori Harvey. The socialite, which means the pass around. Socialite is a word for a whore that's being passed around an industry, or that passes herself around. Kim Kardashian is a socialite, is a whore. Paris Hilton was a socialite, but she's the heiress of the Hilton brand. Notice how Paris stopped all that and went and quietly got married and had kids. Okay. It's been a busy past few weeks. I read that. The socialite recently confirmed her split from actor Damson Idris. And the aftermath to that saga saw both A-listers trending across the world for several days. This is not Lori's first high-profile breakup, but it's safe to say that a lot of her admirers appreciate the way she refuses to compromise on her dating life. Is that what it is? She's not compromising? She has now offered ladies everywhere advice so they can do the same. Lori Harvey has never been shy about her dating life. When she's in love, she loves loudly. They call this love. They're saying what she's doing is being in love with people. But the moment things stop working, how we know they stop working, she doesn't hesitate to move on. While some people might take exception, many other women have expressed how empowering it must be to never need to settle for less. The men that she's... Listen to the wording. Listen to the wording that they are attaching to a Black woman. and that she's attaching to herself. I want y'all to understand that white women don't have articles like this written about them. I have never seen a Taylor Swift article. I've never seen her parade around and talk about how empowering it was to be a slut. And she's just as open about the relationships she get in and out of and the situationships she get in and out of too. She's just as open. But notice how white women don't admire Taylor Swift for that. Do you understand? Do you understand the difference in the perception and in the way in which other women, how they perceive these two different women? White women like Taylor Swift, but they like her for the way in which she make her music and the success financially and professionally that she has. They never say that, oh, we like her because she's a slut. They don't ever say that. Even if that is something they may think. That's not what they say. They don't write articles like that about Taylor. And Taylor doesn't buy into that narrative, even though it is true. And even though it is public. They like Taylor, but not for the hoeing. They don't say, we like it that she doesn't settle for these men and she's able to keep it moving. See, the concept and the verbiage is so different. We'll continue. Many other women have expressed how empowering it must be to never need to settle for less. As it turns out, that is Lori's deliberate dating strategy. Speaking in a video that has now gone viral, Lori Harvey shared the advice that she would offer to all women when she said, quote, figure out what your non-negotiables are and then don't ever waver on them. I feel like oftentimes we as Black women, and she's specifying, feel like, especially when we get to a certain point in our lives, we feel like we need to settle. We just feel like we need to rush to get into something because maybe we want to be married by a certain age. All of this is shamed, by the way. Black women that want to get married by a certain age, they don't want to wait till they 30, 40 something. That is being met with a level of shamefulness. Why would you want to be married by a certain age? What's wrong with you as a Black woman to want to be married while you're young? I need y'all to understand what is with this wording. We want to have kids by a certain age. Y'all are already having them. You just having them dysfunctionally. You already having them by a certain age. Don't act like y'all are reserving motherhood for marriage, because you don't. I'm so tired of y'all hyenas lying. I am so tired of y'all lying about what you want to do, what you actually do, what the intentions are that you do stuff with. Stop lying. Stop acting as if you want a relationship and as if you want marriages and you want stability. That is not what you want. You want to whore around and be in the street and do what you want to do. That's what you want. And then when that runs out, when the streets run out, when you ain't getting no love in them streets no more, then you just want the men that you passed up, the men that you said you wasn't going to settle for, and all of that type of stuff to come back, to spin the block, come back and get you and save you from the monotony of the street. And I think that is not how we should view love at all. She said that Black women should not want to be married by a certain age or have children by a certain age or get into stable relationships. Seems as if giving out love life advice runs in the Harvey family and that the apple didn't fall too far from the tree, as if that was his apple. Lori Harvey is not his apple. Steve Harvey has made a career out of helping people improve their relationships through a series of books, films, talk shows, and most recently advice on social media. Steve famously authored the book Think Like a Man, which was said to be a guide for men to understand the inner workings of men. Seems as if Steve has shared the same advice with his daughter too. She spoke to BET to reveal the best piece of advice her father has given her when she said, "Remember that you are the prize. It just means not compromising my values, my happiness, my peace, and not settling for less than what I know I deserve." His daughter, Lori, might not be on her way to releasing a novel just yet, but it definitely seems as if she's taking a leaf from her father's book. She says settling. So the men that she's been with, let's because that word settling and the concept behind it irks me to no end. Irks me to no end. Couple of things. First off, this is purposeful. She's doing this in front of other women to make sure that Black women continue on with the nonsense about settling and not settling for what less than what you deserve and you the prize. See, that whole thing. She's doing what modern women have been told to do. What she's demonstrating is the quintessential feminism that they've all wanted Black women and women in general to be a part of. She's doing it on purpose to demonstrate this dysfunction and make sure that young women her age and younger, are gonna keep up with the type of nonsense that's gonna keep them single and miserable because they're single. Miserable because they're single. You would think that young women would start to see older women crying. Women that was once in a position. Women that was once considered to be baddies and pretty and beautiful, and they couldn't keep the men away from them. These is women that couldn't fight them off fast enough. It was men coming out the woodwork wanted these women, and they just had they pick, and they was all no, baby, I can't settle with, ain't good. He better do this. He better listen. Women who have always been in that position get older, and then they don't occupy that position no more, and it dawns on them suddenly that they can't do it anymore. That the men no longer pay them that kind of attention. They can no longer get by on their looks. That the way in which they was moving through life and taking advantage of pretty privilege and all that kind of stuff, it stops. It ends. Men are always looking at the younger one. Once you get to a certain age as a woman, you are invisible to them. And I don't care what kind of lioness you are or what kind of hyena you are. Because listen, let me tell you something. I got married just in time. My husband married me just in time. I was on the edge of invisibility. Do you understand that? Do you understand you don't have to be no 60, 70, 80-year-old woman? This happens in your 30s and 40s. You approach invisibility. Men start not seeing you. They don't see you. You're not on the radar anymore. If you have not been chosen, you will not be chosen. It get to a point where you're not going to be chosen. So all that running around about how entitled you are, how many options you don't have any options. Just because men still might want to screw you every once in a while, that's not an option. Because the women get on social media and they cry about that the most. How the men don't see them. And it's getting younger and younger. Because I done seen some ones in their early 30s can't be seen. I seen a couple in their 20s can't be seen. Lori Harvey is not going to be seen much longer. She's already invisible for a relationship. Do we understand that? She's already invisible for relationships. She's invisible. They only see her now for one thing, and that won't last very long. Her mama just happened to run into Steve. That was luck. Y'all mess around and follow, and it's older women trying to follow what Lori is doing. She ain't doing nothing more special. She is told you she's a harlot for hire. Women do not be believing fat meat is greasy. Y'all better start believing fat meat is greasy. These women that smack running to the wall is there to tell you that fat meat is greasy. You don't want to listen to that. You want to listen to Lori. I heard one chick on a video talking about she was young. If Lori was giving out dating advice, I definitely would tune in. Tune in to do what? So the first thing that they doing is that she's doing what she's doing on purpose. Now, that whole settling thing. Ladies, let's talk about the settling thing. Y'all always be talking about settling. Define settling. Define that. She's reinforcing the never settle situation without first defining what settling is. Settling for what? And why aren't these men good enough? So you telling me that all the men that Lori has dated, all of them, something was wrong with them? So all of them men, see, this is what it does with the I can't settle. Because what it does is that it automatically places the blame on the man for the relationship not working out because he's faulty and he's deficient in some kind of way while she remains perfect, the prize, and entitled. So when she say, "Oh, I can't never settle," what that puts in your mind is that there was some fatal flaw with every last one of these men. Every last one of them. There was not one of them men. I don't care how rich and famous he was. I don't care what kind of personality he had. I don't care what kind of looks he had. I don't care what kind of demeanor he had. I don't care what kind of mindset he had. There was always something wrong with them, never nothing wrong with her. When Michael B. Jordan broke up with her, these thoughts was running around talking about how Michael B wasn't all of that. This is a man who was an A-list actor, rich. By all other chicks' accounts, he was good looking. Wasn't he voted as the world's sexiest man on one of them magazine things? And they was trying to say, these internet chicks was trying to say that there was something wrong with Michael B. Jordan, as if they would not swoon if he were to jump into their DMs and hit them up. If Michael B. Jordan was to hit any one of them chicks up that was talking all that crap about how he must not have been good enough for Lori, if he was to slide into those DMs, they would be out of their mind. Oh my God, this Michael B. Jordan girl, he DM'd me, girl, and I looked at the page, and it really is his page, girl. They would be going crazy, trying to tell all of their girlfriends. He would have to put a gag order on them to tell them don't post the DM on the page so everybody can see the DM. They would be trying to get flued out. They would be trying to get pregnant. Okay? There would be no end to them chicks trying to get with him if he showed an iota of interest in them. And you had these chicks. This is what that no settling does. I can't settle means what it does, the effect that it has is that it always makes the woman perfect in the situation. If she says, oh, I can't settle, that means that she was perfect in the situation and he was the one with the fatal flaw. Every last man. And she been with a lot of men. Let's take a look, because I don't even think this is the whole list. This can't be the whole list. Can't be the whole list. Relationships. In January 2016, she began dating Dutch footballer Memphis Depay. They were engaged in 2017, separated by 2018. She's an engagement breaker. They think this is, a flex. Following the end of her engagement to Depay, Harvey was briefly linked to R&B singer Trey Songz. She was also linked with Future. The pair confirmed their relationship January 2020, broke up in August of that year. Future later took aim at Harvey in his feature verse on the song Maybach. Magic City, I'm the owner, tell Steve Harvey I don't want her. In November of 2020, Harvey began dating Michael B. Jordan. In December of 2021, Jordan declared in an interview that he had finally found what love was. See, I told y'all, Michael was the last one. Michael was the last one that slightly took her seriously. The ship has now sailed. Not just with him, but any man of his caliber will never do it again. They will never take her seriously no more. Because she had an engagement, a couple of guys before him, and then they were engaged. And then that broke up. And everybody blamed him. There's something wrong with him. Nothing wrong with her. She's perfect. She's a perfect little angel. She the problem. Yeah, they left out P. Diddy and his son. Like I said, Hazel, this can't be the whole list. This is a truncated list. This is a redacted list. This is not the list. Okay? To show us this little redacted list. Then in 2022, they ended the relationship. In 2023, in January, she began dating Damson Idris. They just broke up a little while ago. A harlot for hire. Y'all will not talk about what settling actually means. Settling is a word that helps a hyena to avoid accountability for what she does and doesn't do in relationships. Saying you don't settle is just yet another way for hyenas to avoid accountability for what they do and don't do properly in any given relationship, because it automatically assumes that the man is wrong. So this is why, this is one of, we're gonna get into why women really like this and what the deeper thing is. Let's go to a real quick commercial break and we'll come back. I'm gonna get to super chats and then we're going to dive deeper. So after these messages, we'll be right back.
Hello, my Crimsonites and all of my supporters. I invite you to go and get your copy of my new book, Reclaiming the Black Feminine, The Lies of Feminism and the Road to Recovery, on sale now at crimsoncure.com. This is guaranteed to change your perspective and positively impact your life. So go ahead now to crimsoncure.com and get your copy today.
So go on to crimsoncure.com, get your copy of Reclaiming the Black Feminine, Lies of Feminism and the Road to Recovery, on sale now. I know I owe y'all a bam, 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 bam. You gotta hit the like button, bam, bam. You gotta So go ahead and hit the like button. Let me get to the super chats. Thank you, Miss Lou Casely, for your super sticker, sweetheart. Thank you, Almond Eye says she got Nino Brown numbers of bodies. Exactly. Thank you again. Almond says, is it me or are the level of dudes Lori is going down? She went from MBJ to a TV actor. She not living what she preaching. And see, it's gotta go down. Oh, it's going down. See, the men she dating still too high for the average woman, because they just don't have access to these men. But the quality is definitely going down. See, the quality went up because Future is Future. Future don't got nothing but D and baby mamas. Okay. Michael B was the husband. She let that slip through her fingers. She gonna rue that. That's gonna be the relationship she look back on and be like, because he was the last one to take her that level of serious. Now, then she went with Damson. I mean, nothing wrong with Damson Idris, right? Nothing wrong with the brother. But, I mean, it did step down a notch. He did step down a notch. These men do not want to be booed up. She cool for a hot second. She thinks that listen, I don't think she realizes that she's the one that gets bent over. Somebody who gonna tell her? She the one be getting bent over. In all these situations, she ain't bent not now one of the men over. She be getting bent over. She don't know that yet. Y'all don't know that yet. Y'all are not screwing these guys. Y'all are getting screwed by these guys. How you steal a prize and everybody done open the box? What's in it? Thank you, Mogul Maze, for your contribution. Thank you, Common Man. Said, take it from a 62-year-old man. Women my age can be nothing but friends to me, but never a mate. I can pull women in their late 20s, early 30s. So why would I want a woman over 40? Facts. Exactly. Thank you, Michael, for your contributions to Lori's mama. Marjorie taught her the game on how to be for the streets. Marjorie's first two marriages were with drug kingpins before she married Steve. Lori has a hyena mom. Lori's older sister, Morgan Hawthorne, fell out with their mama, apparently because she is a lioness. And that might actually be so. Because if hyenas have a few kids, one of them sometimes is a lioness and then they don't get along. But thank you so much. Thank you so much, Black Goku. Said these hyenas are the poster children of narcissism. They take it to another level. They definitely do. And thank you, John. Said, love your perspective on topics. Keep doing this good work. Thank you so very much. Definitely. And I'm saying definitely to this. Lori and Brittany will soon be on a podcast giving wisdom. Exactly. I want the women to tell me how you a prize, but everybody done opened the box and rummaged through it, got what they wanted out of it. How you the prize still? How? Which leads me to the feminism portion and the danger of this. What she is doing is she is demonstrating what empowerment is in terms of feminism, especially as it pertains to Black women, which is how we're going to go back to the comparison between Lori Harvey and Taylor Swift. Because for as many times as Taylor Swift get passed around, because her dating list long too. You understand? That the Taylor has got a morgue behind her. Just the same as Lori Harvey. She got that same morgue. Okay? Taylor's gonna get married. How old is Taylor? Listen, let me tell you something. How old is Taylor Swift? Taylor Swift is 33. And Lori Harvey is 26. I guarantee you Taylor Swift get married before Lori Harvey. Taylor Swift is 33. Lori Harvey's 26. Lori Harvey is more sexually desirable to many men, particularly Black men. Taylor Swift, by comparison, she's not curvy, she's not okay, but she's a white woman. She the white man bee's knees. White men love the way she look because she's the quintessential white woman. Okay. Lori Harvey, no, Taylor Swift gonna get married, and Lori Harvey may never get married. And it won't be because she don't want to be. But no matter how many men Taylor go through, she don't parade, and she writes songs. That's where her little hits be coming from. Cause she'll date a guy, and then they'll break up, and then she'll write a song about what happened. And then that's where her little songs be coming from. And no matter how many times she do that, when Taylor Swift get ready and she want to have her some kids and a little white family and Mr. Cartwright, Taylor is going to find a high value Mr. Cartwright. You mark what I say. If Taylor ever want to do that, she is going to find a high value Mr. Cartwright. He might not even be famous, but he may be filthy rich. You understand? He gonna be a little older than her. You understand? And she gonna get pregnant a couple of times. She gonna have her some kids. She gonna live off of the residuals of her music sales and all of that kind of stuff. She gonna go on tour sometime. Taylor, she gonna do that. And she gonna kick back with her family. Lori may never get to do that. Even when she called herself gonna settle down and look for a husband, she ain't gonna be able to find it. That is the difference between how they view white women in Mrs. Cartwright and how they view you, Keisha. You don't win. You don't win this whore game. Ever. Do you understand that? It's a pipe dream. It's a dream. It's a dream. It's a nightmare to you. You think it's a dream until it's not. Until it turns into a nightmare when you start looking for a man and you can't find him. And then when you can't find him and all that stuff, and you realize the reason that you're not gonna find him is because all that slutting around you did publicly. This is why Brittany Renner can't figure it out. Brittany Renner can't figure out why she can't have PJ Washington when all he did was go get a carbon copy of her. And I'm talking about not so much in looks, but in thoughtism. The one he got ain't no better than Brittany. Brittany still can't figure it out. She don't know why she can't have PJ. Because you publicly thought it around. She just a little older than Lori. She about what? 30? She still look just as good as Lori do. Her body just as nice as Lori's body. If Brittany had wanted to be a model, she could have easily done that. Brittany could have easily walked down somebody's runway. She had started her little social media life as like a little fitness girl and stuff. She could have kept doing that. You don't get him again. Black China fumbled Rob Kardashian. Black China had maneuvered her little ghetto self all the way over to Robert Kardashian. If he ain't nothing else to a thought, he a bag. To a thought. And he married her. She had a baby with that man. Well, he was engaged to her. Fumbled that bag. She ain't recovered yet. She got a baby by him and a baby by Tiger. And she fumbled both of them. This was years ago. And she won't get that again. I don't care how many BBLs she put in. I don't care how many she remove. I don't care that she try to clean her image up, not be a thought. Bernice Burgos. How long was she around? She's still pretty. Bernice is in her what? Bernice is almost 40, ain't she? Got a grown daughter that look just like her. She can still sit there and thirst trap. Don't nobody want her. Nobody wants Bernice Burgos. Nobody wants her. Nobody. Huh? Corinne Steffens was once a young Lori Harvey. Don't nobody want her, and she's mental now. She mental. How many times Erykah Badu was fine, talented and pretty. 3 babies and 3 baby daddies. Don't nobody want her. Huh? How fine was Nicole Murphy? She's still fine in her 60s. Nicole still pretty. Nobody wanted her. After Eddie Murphy left her, nobody wanted her. Huh? How many men swooned over Nia Long? Huh? These women was once these young, fine, every man swooned over her. She walked into a room and just commanded. Lori Harvey ain't no better than now one of them women I named, especially them women in their prime. Halle Berry in her prime. Huh? Halle in her prime. She got 2 Mr. Cartwright baby daddies. 2, 3 of them. Huh? J-Lo in her prime. How many did she pass through and couldn't hold the relationship? Had to spin the block with Ben Affleck and she running him crazy. That's what he get for spinning the block back to J-Lo. All in many years later. Huh? Naomi Campbell, fine. A supermodel all across the world. She ain't never found nobody that wanted her. Huh? How fine was Tyra? A Victoria's Secret model, had a whole big modeling mogul thing going on, ran the TV show America Next Top Model for years and years. And who wanted Tyra? Who wanted Tyra? Who married Tyra? Nobody. Way back in the day, Diane Carroll was young and fine. And she told everybody after she had got old, before she passed away, how lonely she was. How hard it was for anybody to get along with her. She never settled. And she died alone. Diane Carroll, prolific actress, was beautiful in the day. Go on back and look at Claudine. Go on back and look at them old movies. Even she was pretty even in 5 Heartbeats, and she was old by then. I can just keep going on and on and on about all these women that was fine at one time. You couldn't, you could listen. They were the pinnacle of what women should look like. Gisele Bundchen was married to Tom Brady. He plucked her off the Victoria's Secret line. She couldn't settle either. Now she by herself with kids. Mad because he won't come back. Tom Brady was settling for her. You know how many white women? Do you know how many white women want Tom Brady? Do you understand how many white women want Tom Brady? How many white women swoons over Tom Brady, little square-headed self? Huh? They love tall head. His head tall. They love him. They love him. If he slide into anybody's DM, they gonna be happy. Any one of them white women, baby. If Tom Brady slide into a DM, baby, them white women gonna go crazy. They love that square-headed man. Gisele couldn't settle. That's another one. Thank you. Amber Rose. She another one. Oh, how fine was Amber Rose? Back when you couldn't get enough of her. Back when she had all the back shots and she fine and she was rubbing shoulders with this one and she was dating that one and she, Who wants Amber Rose? Huh? Who's lined up to marry Amber Rose? The same folks that's going to be lined up to marry Lori Harvey in another 5 years. Nobody. And y'all want to emulate y'all life after her. You won't like it when she come back and tell you how lonely she is and how she want a man now and won't man look at her. And the ones that will look at her, she don't want them. Empowerment means sexual promiscuity and whoring. Empowerment, when they talk about female empowerment, it is always 100% linked and associated with the concept of sexual promiscuity. Every time they use the word we're empowered, especially Black female celebrities, Megan Thee Stallion, all of them, anytime they talk about empowering and empowerment, they mean sexual promiscuity. And y'all keep on drinking the Kool-Aid. They are never empowered. Y'all ain't never empowered for your intelligence. You're never empowered and looked up upon and put on a pedestal for your spirituality. You're never put on a pedestal and empowered because of you are a good or a thoughtful person. You're never empowered because of your humanitarian efforts. You're never empowered for none of them things, for just being a good human being. That's not empowerment. Empowerment is always, how big of a whore can you be? That's all empowerment is. All things, all people, and all situations must serve you, or else they are all discarded. It teaches you how to discard people and things when they don't serve you. Practicing selfishness at the highest possible level. In the most dysfunctional way you could practice it, in the most lost value system way you could practice it, where you are taught to discard human beings when they don't, quote unquote, serve you. Let me get to these super chats. Thank you to Renzo. Said, mark this day on your calendar, folks. My twin is on to something, and I need you all to understand this as a scripture to be powerful to be in anyone else's book. Thank you so much to Renzo. Thank you, Lenny. So I just started talking to this girl, and the first celebrity she asked me about was Lori Harvey, and talked about how much she thinks she's dope. Red flag. Thank you, HVAC. Said, one, Brittany Renner's best friends was Jada Stevens, a known corn star. Jada is 34, married, got a whole kid now, and she's a Miss Cartwright, Brittany's law. Thank you, Damien. Said, you just dropped major gems and told no lies. Thank you so much. Thank you, MIA. Say, they don't know when to get out of the casino when they're winning. They think they can keep playing. Exactly. Thank you, Mr. Enigma. So I'm amazed at how the puppet master keep finding willing Black women to push this boss B agenda. I'm even more amazed at how women keep falling for it. They call entertainment programming for a reason. People, wake up. Thank you so much. Thank you, Utah. Said, playing the devil's advocate, do you blame any men for these failed relationships as the women you mentioned? Many hyenas will say yes, in my opinion. We'll get back to your question. Thank you so much, Randy, for your contribution as well. Can the men be to blame in the failure of a relationship? Of course they can. Men are not perfect. That's, to me, that's almost a non sequitur. Men are not perfect. Men can fumble a relationship. Plenty of men have fumbled relationships. But when you have several relationships in a row and you were looking for them to be relationships and all of them fail, you're the common denominator. That go for men and women. That don't just go for women. If you a man and your last 5, 6, 7 relationships have all failed, and you just want to blame what the women are doing, you the problem. You the problem. You definitely the problem. Because everywhere you go, there you are. And if you done pick 5, 6, 7 bad women in a row, you know your picker broke. You might need to go sit and reevaluate why you attracting these kind of women. What's wrong with you? You a maggle? Are you a male hyena? Got to ask yourself. Because there are plenty of men who ignore all kind of red flags with these females and go over there and get with them anyway. And to them, I say you get what you deserve, what you go over there for, just like I do to the women. See, I don't really feel sorry for Joe Smith. I don't feel sorry for him. You married a corn star, sir. You married a corn star, baby. Baby, what? I don't feel sorry for no man married Kim Kardashian. I don't feel sorry for that. I don't feel sorry for PJ Washington. I don't feel sorry for him. You pick the same women over and over and over. I don't even feel sorry. I don't really necessarily feel sorry for Tyrese either. And I like Tyrese. Tyrese seems like he is a cool person. He really do. Tyrese seemed like he the type of person you could just kick it with. Like you could just chill with him and he like a kick it, he a good friend. Like he just seemed like cool people. But he always picked the same chick. Something wrong with that. What's going on with your vetting process? What's happening in your spirit? Because you keep attracting these same types of women. So just like the women, you study running around with these F-19s and F-boys. I don't feel sorry for you. You get what you get. Why do you keep going over there to these same men? Just like I don't blame Future for all them baby mamas. I don't blame them for that. I don't blame him for that. He got like 9 or 10 baby mamas or something like that. Something crazy. Y'all lines up. I don't blame Nick Cannon for having all them baby mamas. Y'all lines up for it. You see what he doing. He purposely doing it. He doing it in front of the world. Y'all lines up and signs papers and all that kind of stuff to be that man baby mama. I don't feel sorry for none of them. Oh, no, he doing them women. He ain't doing nothing to them women that don't want to be done. He ain't doing nothing to them women they ain't signing up for. So if you are catastrophic, you just a walking catastrophe in relationships, you look for the love of your life. Every 6 months, you looking for the love of your life. Because none of the people is working out. None of these situations work out. None of them ever. And you've been looking. I ain't even talking about the ones that ain't been looking for a relationship. I don't care. It could be a situation. I'm talking about you've been trying to make things work with folk. And they don't never work. You are the problem. You may not think you're the problem, but you're the problem. That don't got no name or face on it. That's just reality. 1 or 2 failed relationships. It could be you, could be the other person, could be a combination. But all your relationships always failing, and it's just so happen to always be the other person's fault. You're right. Thank you, Miss 39 Dina, for your contribution, sweetheart. Thank you, Common Man. So Diane Carroll loves Sidney Poitier, but when he tried to talk to her, she played hard to get and found his wife, who he never cheated on. Not one time. Diane Carroll was crushed after that. And see, I could see that. I didn't know that, but I could see that because Sidney Poitier was the man back in the day, especially back in Diane Carroll's day. They would have been a power couple. You understand? Because Sidney Poitier was his time's Denzel Washington. And I mean that from just the way people perceived him personally as a man and his portrayals on screen. He was just that dignified kind of man. Like, he was masculine, man's man. Like, he ain't play no games, but he, but if you in his tribe, he gonna take care of you. That kind of guy. That's how I see Sidney Poitier. He was his time's Denzel type of guy. Like I said, the way the public perceived him. And so I could see that, her being in love with him, and then he give her a shot now, and now all of a sudden she was the prize. Okay, you be the prize over there. I'll find me a real woman. I'll find me a real woman that's not playing these games. Thank you, KW Don said Super had changed her name as if that would change her outcomes. Naomi Campbell had to use surrogates to have children, and her ex-Russian billionaire sued her for his $3 million. Thank you again, Utah. I believe black men are blamed globally for the failure of the black neutral family relationships. I believe they see us men for not upholding the black nuclear family as once before. Y'all been fumbling men for the longest. My point in talking about Lori Harvey and y'all modern young women fascination with her, she's not getting any benefit from doing what she's doing. She's not getting any benefit from doing what she's doing. There's nothing that she's doing except running her own value down as a woman. And her name and the money that she get from her stepfather is not going to save her. The beauty fades. I just rattled off lists of names of women that were once in Lori's shoes or was hotter than Lori in their time. All the women that you think are boss babes and all the men want them, none of the men want them. They time came and went, and they left out. They had their moment, had they shot where they could have had any man, and they chose to do the I don't settle, I'm the prize, I ain't gotta pick y'all running after me, I ain't gotta get married, I'm young, I'm fine, I'm beautiful, I'm this, I'm that, until they weren't. And then they was looking high and low for them men, them same men to come back around, and them men have nothing to do with them. Those men don't have nothing to do with them. That's what happened with Tahiri. Joe Budden ex. That's why she was mad at Votto. Remember, she was acting out with Votto on that reality show. I did a video a long time ago with that. You know why she mad? Because Joe Budden was the best man she was going to ever get. And in terms of like the man with some kind of money, she wanted to be the famous rapper's wife. And she told Votto to his face, you the brokest man I've been with, because I think his net worth was only like 1 or 2 million or something like that. And she was like mad at him because he wasn't who she thought she could end up with. She thought she could do better than Joe. So she begged him to marry her. And when he finally proposed to her, she didn't want him and this and that and left the relationship, blah, 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 blah. had her chance. There was a time when Tahiri was hot stuff. A pretty big booty Latina, you know. Don't nobody want Tahiri. Nobody wants her. There was a time when Erica Mena was hot stuff. How you fumble Safari. Because he wanted her. And she thought she was too fine for Safari, so she acted a fool. Baby, you was, okay, Rich Dollars didn't even take you serious, baby. So you really need to come down off of that. How many of the old school, thoughts, the old school vixens and all of that had their time? And it came and went, and they old now, and they sorry, and they lonely. And they can't keep a man to save their lives. How long did Kenya Moore have to wait for a man? And she was Miss America or whatever she was. And this and that. A man finally came along to marry her. And she acted a fool and got divorced. Cynthia Bailey. How fine was Cynthia Bailey back in her time? Had that baby by Leon. Could have been with Leon. Now she gets married every other year. Nobody want her. Nobody wants her. Nobody want to stay with her. The only one was smart enough to keep a man was what's her name? The girl from Escape. I forget her name. Y'all know who I'm talking about. She was the only one. And her husband do not make what she make at all. They tried to clown him about it. She make more than you. He said she make more than everybody in this room. Candy. He said Candy make more money than everybody in here. So don't try to clown me about what I make versus what she make versus what y'all make. Don't nobody make more money in this room than Candy. Her tax bracket is above everybody else's tax bracket in here. And she didn't worry about how he didn't make as much money as her. She didn't worry about that. Candy was smart enough not to worry about that. She know which man gonna be making the money she making. So she went for the man that loved her and that she loved. And she stayed with him. We ain't talking about the money and all that kind of stuff. We ain't doing all that. And y'all will say she settled. But how did she settle? Because she seemed to have a stable relationship. And it was threatened by her mama. Because her mama is a pistol baby. Her mama a whole ooh-wee. And Todd had to tell her, hey, get your mama. Get your mama. I ain't gonna have her disrespecting me. Get your mama. And Candy went on and put a stop to that. Vivica Fox can't stop talking about 50 Cent. That was 90 years ago. I could go on. Vivica Fox still mentions 50 Cent's name. How long they ain't been together? That's been a good 15 years ago. A good 15 years ago. Okay. Don't nobody want her. Nobody wants Vivica. Claudia was pretty back in her day. Don't nobody want Claudia. Lisa Ray was fine back in her day. Don't nobody want Lisa. Don't nobody want them. Nobody wants them. There was a time where Lisa could have had any man. She's still in the delusion thinking she can have any man. Okay, and she old. Lori gonna be on that list. She headed to it. She done wrote her first name on it. All she need is to put her last name on it and underline it. That's the only thing she missing. And the only reason that has not happened yet is because she's still relatively young. But they always pushing that empowerment is hoeing to y'all. Y'all love that woman. She gonna be lonely. What y'all gonna do when she come on TikTok and say she lonely and that she should have stopped and she should have got married to one of the men, and there wasn't nothing wrong with them men. These was wonderful men that she passed up. What y'all gonna do when she come out and say that? Thank you, Lucid said there are older feminists who live vicariously through her. One, her initials are FJ, was on a griot recently with Michael Mahill talking so happily about how Lori Harvey is living the dream. And that's scary because what dream she living? Hoeing? That's the dream. Don't y'all already do that? Thank you, Skinny Voice, and nobody mentioned Ebony K. Pilgrim. Anyway. Somebody needed to hear this message. Pass it on. Jump down in the comments section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, Sister Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.